Hey guys, I'm here today at the Richmond Paddle Cup Race 2022. We are at Powhatan State Park. We are going to be launching from this boat ramp, in about 28 minutes. It's gonna be a not terribly competitive race. There's only 6 boats signed up. I think 3 kayaks and 3 canoes, or 4 kayaks and 2 canoes. A lot of the usual suspects are not here this year. This race was hurt this year, especially because the U.S. Nationals, wild water tryouts are happening up at the Lehigh Classic today. I've done that race in the past. I love that race, but I try to stay local in Virginia when I can. So I chose this race today over the Lehigh Classic. Maybe next year I'll go back up there. But it's a beautiful river today, nice and flat. We got rain on Monday this week. The river shot way up, but it's come way back down. So I'm expecting to hit some rocks and bumps toward the end of the race. We'll see what happens, and I'll check in a little bit and let you know how it went.
Dave, tell us a little bit about your boat setup for today's Richmond Paddle Cup race.
Okay, so I learned from, I think last year or 2 years ago, I had my GPS watch on a little block of foam, and I clipped it to the cockpit coaming. That was a mistake. I knocked it into the water. So today I put a little electrical tape here, and it's right on the deck, so when I'm paddling I won't hit that watch. I've got the Westside Boat Shop Wave XL kayak today. I've got 2 cameras on the front. I've got a body cam on my life jacket, and let's see, I've got a Camelback bladder with 64 ounces or so of electrolytes. I'm using Ultra Salt today. It's from a company called Pure Vitamin Club. It's the best stuff I've found yet, so that's what I'm going with. And I'm pretty minimalist today. Just water, a paddle, a boat, and some cameras, and that's it.
All right. How do you feel about today's race? I know you've done this race before.
So, there's not too many people here today. I think there are 6 people signed up, 6 boats signed up. I'm just out here to have a good time and paddle a good race. It's not about beating anybody or even really being terribly competitive. Just want to have a good time, have a good race, make sure everybody stays safe and doesn't get into trouble. But it's just a fun race. 22 miles on the James River. It's kind of a longer race, so you gotta pace yourself a little bit, but I'm expecting a lot of fun today.
All right.
Here I am getting into my boat, making some old man grunty noises. And I give a little yee-haw. Yeah! And here's the start of the race, 22 miler.
All right, see you in 22. Go, Dave!
And there you see me paddling right next to that C2, the canoe with 2 people in it. That was Case and Ross. Those are wonderful guys, wonderful paddlers. Stay in sight, guys. And here you have it from my body cam. 2022! So we launched at 8 a.m. before the sun was even really above the tree line. You will see Case and Ross come in on my left here in a minute. And we paddled together for, maybe the first mile or 2. And I thought we would end up paddling together pretty much all day side by side at this point. But, you never know what's going to happen. You'll see them come in here from the left, and I'll just let you enjoy this. So here I get behind them. It looks like I'm drafting them, but I'm really not. I slowed down and I just wanted to follow them to get some video of those 2 paddling. Their form was so good, they were so in sync, and I could hear them saying, hut, hut, hut. And that's their signal to switch sides. just wanted to catch the video. Here you see the sun coming up above the trees, so I drop off back behind them. I had been paddling alongside them on the right, drop back, and now I'm going far river left because I want to get under those trees into the shade and paddle in the shade as long as I possibly can, and stay out of the sun as long as possible. Now here's another view of the start of the race. You see the field behind me there. There's John McHugh in his epic V7. He's always a contender, and he is like the Terminator. I know he is never, ever going to stop, and he is never, ever going to let go of the idea that he's going to win this race. So I knew he was going to be pushing me all day long. There you see me take a sip of my hydration. What I had in my Camelback there was Pure Vitamin Club Ultra Salts. I took, I think, 4 capsules and put them into the bladder and then filled it up with water and stuck it in the freezer the night before. Breakfast that morning was an egg frittata, no bread. And I also had an Ultra Fat from Pure Vitamin Club. That's it's a really good electrolyte, almond butter product that just is for somebody who's keto or low carb. It's just a great source of sports nutrition. That's Ultra Fat by Pure Vitamin Club. And here you see a few riffles that we went through kind of early in the race. Here's another little riffle. I actually made a mistake here. That's an island, and I went left of the island. I thought maybe I could find a better way. I should have gone right. Here is toward the end of the race. This is the Route 288 bridge. And I'll tell you what, you turn the corner upriver and you see this bridge, and it seems like it takes you forever to actually paddle up to that bridge after you've seen it. The river gets really wide and slow here. And this was like flat water. I mean, you saw the video at the beginning. The river didn't look like it was flowing. Here it's even slower. The only thing that saved us, and you see it here, is there was a breeze blowing upriver. So we had some riffles. Yeah, it hurt our times. It slowed everybody down. But I'll tell you what, on a 90-degree day, it was great to have a breeze blowing upwind in our faces to help keep us cool. And that's what these waves are. That's the wind blowing upstream. And I'll say this about this race too. It's held in Central Virginia at the end of August each year. And just the fact that you're battling heat and humidity on top of a 22 mile kayak race just adds an extra element of endurance, and you really have to be trained. You really have to have your nutrition dialed in, and you really have to pace yourself properly. There are some speedboats, motorboats, pleasure craft, pulling skiers and rafters and whatnot. And now I know that the Case and Ross and the C2 are behind me. They're, I don't know, maybe 2 minutes behind. I can see them, but I can't see anyone behind them. So I know this race is mine at this point. So you see me zigzagging into these boat wakes just to not take any chances. I'm very comfortable on flat water in these skinny kayaks, racing kayaks, but I'm not the greatest at taking waves sideways because I just don't experience that being an inland person. It's just not something I naturally practice or have to deal with. So I try to angle into these boat wakes. I just want to stay upright. I don't want to screw up. There's Robius Landing. There's the park. There's another pleasure craft, and I turned into the boat wake, so I stay upright. I guess the people at the finish line thought it wasn't me because I was going the other way, and they didn't realize I was battling boat wakes. And here you see me paddling into the finish line, the boat ramp at Robius Landing. What a great boat ramp to come out of. It was just very, very, very nice. And now here you see the Relive app. I was wearing a GPS watch on my wrist as well as the one on the kayak. This is what the course looks like overall. And I was able to shave a little bit of miles off. Here's where I went left when I should have gone right. But it was a 22-mile race, and I really cut corners and shaved about 0.8 of a mile off of it just by being efficient. Over 6,000 paddle strokes that day. There's the start. And there we are taking first place trophies. More about this in a minute. Great people at Crosswind paddle. Pickles and coffee. The secrets of the champions. All right, so there we are. We're wrapping the Richmond Paddle Cup 2022. Paddling friend Shelly is with me today. She paddled the Westside Boat Shop Delta Kayak, and guess what? She took first place in the women's division in the 5-miler. I paddled my Westside Boat Shop Wave XL in the 22-miler, and I was fortunate enough to take first place with that boat. It was a good day. If you think about doing this race, just know the last 7 miles are flat. The river gets wide and slow, and this time of year it gets hot. So the last 7 miles are no fun whatsoever, but the first 10 miles are awesome. There's enough rapids and little riffles to keep it interesting. It was a great race, great day. Thank you, Crosswind Paddle guys, for sponsoring this race. We'll see you again next year.
Westside Boat Shop Kayaks. The tradition continues.
Okay, and inside the swag bag, I found this sticker for Crosswind Paddleboarding. These are the folks who sponsor this race. This is now going in a place of honor on my paddle. I appreciate these guys hosting this race and including a kayak race section. So there you go, Crosswind Paddle. Thanks for sponsoring Richmond Paddle Cup 2022.
When you want an extraordinary racing kayak made in the finest American tradition, or an incredibly efficient decked training boat, or maybe just own a piece of American kayaking history, you want a Westside Boat Shop kayak, now available from davethekayaker.com. Westside Boat Shop Kayaks. The tradition continues.